Okay, the reunion. We're back. Well, hold on.
Okay.
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
You good? I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm good. We're in it. I just watched it the episode.
Okay. How you feeling?
And first of all, I'm loving that there's multiple parts.
Okay.
And I love that we're getting people fiery that we didn't see before fiery. You know what I mean? Hold on. We got
AKA Whitney.
And the beautiful thing right now, we got gardeners pulling up right in the middle of the episode.
Yeah, we about to blow this episode right out the ass.
If you can
blow
hear
it right
them,
out the ass.
It's just
yeah, you know how they go down.
And they're like, oh wait, you're about to film a podcast?
Yeah.
We'd love to come.
Yeah.
I'll bring the blower.
Yeah.
I'll bring the mower. And let's just get it popping, right?
That was loud.
It's so loud.
You might have to tell him. You might have to tell him. I got a lot of stuff to talk about.
All right. 1 sec.
All right.
So the gardeners have come and gone.
Yeah.
Okay, but first off, we got to start this off the right way. I get a box shows up to my house.
What is it?
And I don't know what it is at first. And it says from John. I'm like, John?
Who's John?
Who's John's sending me something?
John?
Then I open it up and I realize
John Doe.
We get a little surprise package. If you can read this.
Oh, is that Lisa?
This is Lisa's tequila.
Okay.
She sent us the tequila. It is fantastic.
It is?
I just tried a little bit. It is, this is like a beautiful bottle. I'm not saying that we're corrupted and bought out. But,
I am. I'll say it.
Whoever, she was the first one.
The first one.
This is a good, if you want to be on someone's good side, that's the way to do it.
What?
So I feel like
if I say anything negative towards her in this episode, please cancel me. That's how much I love Lisa. Shout out to Lisa
We're
Barlow.
easily bought and sold. First one to send us the best stuff wins.
Yes.
And we'll never say anything about you.
Never. Again.
But thank you, Lisa. We will be drinking this. Cheers.
Cheers, Lisa. Cheers, house cats, kittens.
Vita. All right.
We back to it.
So back to it. So we got the reunion. We got all the ladies in one room. By the way, it's like the look is wild.
The look, I love the look.
The look is like Disneyland.
Oh, it's like they're walking into like a snow globe. You know those little snow globes?
Oh, yeah. It's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is beautiful.
They killed it.
And everyone's outfit, I don't have any negative thing to say about everyone.
Yes.
The dresses, the toes, the
dresses,
makeup.
the lack of dresses.
On
certain people, yeah.
The breast.
You just went right for it. You didn't even like.
Just talk about
you don't even subtle. You're like, I'm like the lack of dress. You're like,
no
tits.
The tits. I see what you was trying to say. I just,
you're like, I don't beat around the bush.
I see. It was a subtle way you said that. I was like, oh, he's trying to be sublime. Yeah.
Okay. So, oh god, that's so funny.
Tits.
Tits. So, where do we start with this thing?
I want to start with how these ladies are feeling. You know, during the pandemic, the world is closed, and then you blow up as a celebrity. Now you got weird. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. So it's their first one. They're watching as we're watching it. The world is closed down. They're tweeting and stuff like that. These are girls, these ladies, I should say, their first reunion. Right? I was nervous for them.
Right.
I didn't know how popular the show was until it got revealed that Heather got a DM from the queen herself, Rihanna. So just imagine, exactly. That's huge.
All right,
the
queen.
The queen.
Massive.
So we get questions, and again, I'm mad that Andy Cohen didn't answer our house cat's question, but okay, next year it's okay. Right. We're blowing up a little bit, bravo.
His downfall.
His downfall. Because we had great questions. I had a lot on my mind. Okay. Now
he went for the easy one.
He went the easy one.
Stuff.
By the way, Whitney, which one would you have a sex with? Like,
come on.
Why would you choose Meredith? Now, again, we start off like I love how Andy just goes into it. Who was the first one? Our girl Lisa.
Yes,
the queen bee of the real queen bee, and you can just tell they were waiting. And when I say they, Whitney and Heather, they just wanted to just pounce on her.
It was from the gat.
The gat, bruh. As soon as he said, "Are you on your march?" He just took off. They didn't wait for go. Listen, and you want to take over? You want to just
no. I'm saying no. I was just saying, Lisa. It was kind of. I felt like it was basically Lisa. The whole thing was just Lisa versus everyone, and then Mary versus everyone.
I love
and then so it was almost like that side versus like each person on that side. It was Jen, Lisa, and Mary. They each were kind of verse everyone. So it was kind of a weird, you know what I mean? Everyone on the other side were just kind of more like, you hurt me, I didn't like this, whatever. But on that side, it was kind of the way they set the room up was shocking because I thought they would have done, Meredith next to Lisa, whatever. But clearly something's happened there.
Yo, there, we got an inside scoop. We can touch on it later. But yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, it was like verses, like teams, 3-on-3.
3-on-3.
And I love how I'd have switched it up though. I would have had Mary, the puppet master. I would have had her right next to Jen.
Right. they still aren't giving her credit. She is the puppet master.
Come on. Anyways, go ahead.
So let's deal with we start. It's with the reunions. It's tough because there's never like a storyline. It just jumps everywhere. It's random little moments that hit. So we'll just jump and hit as many as we can and see what we can get with this. But we have Meredith versus Jen. It's kind of the first little bump in the road where we're talking about Jen kind of going after Brooks and Meredith being tweaked by that. What do you think about the fact that she was basically like the whole comments about like it's only one line and some of the stuff about Brooks like not wanting to be friends with Jen and like kind of a Brooks Jen issue for Meredith?
I'm on Jen's side.
That was the time I was like, Jen messed up a lot.
Yeah. But
this is like Brooks deserved it.
Okay. Yes.
Wouldn't you say so?
I think, listen, she didn't tell a lie there. Now, I'm a big advocate on how much I hate Jen on this podcast. But again, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong.
Exactly.
Everything she said was actual factual, right? She said, is it one suit? What do we say on here?
One suit.
It's one
suit. That's not a fashion line.
So the fact that, and then Meredith knew it was one suit. She tried to like come up with excuses. The fact that I'm sorry, I'm giving up too much enthusiasm.
Yeah.
The fact that my son came up and brought his own money into something that he loves. That's why I think we
just because you give him money doesn't mean it's his own money.
Thank you.
Right?
That's it.
Let me be very clear.
Go ahead.
If I do chores because my mommy and daddy say go cut the lawn, and then they give me money, that still isn't my money. That still is just your parents trying to find a way to give you money.
Thank you.
Now we know Brooks is not cutting lawns.
No.
We know that he's not picking up the dog shit.
No, he's not.
He called Meredith when the dog shit.
He walked into it.
So the guy's just getting a check from his parents. That doesn't mean your own money.
Thank you.
Okay? When you break the piggy bank that they put there, that's not saving up your own money. Okay?
It's not.
So don't give me this whole like a self-made man.
Except
the fact that you bought your kid a clothing line and it's just one sweatsuit.
Sweatsuit.
Here's where Jen messed up.
Okay.
That's a shitty thing to do. To talk about your friend like that. Friend's kid. We, who don't know them, can talk shit. But it's like me talking shit about your kid. It's a little bit like, yeah, I agree with Meredith in that is shitty. Now, is she wrong? No.
Yeah.
But is it shitty? Yeah.
So we live in today's society where we can't voice our opinions. It was right is right. Like I get what you're saying, but again, it's like you have a daughter, right? Let's say like, oh, she came up with, you gave her money in the clothes. I was like, damn, only one suit, but I went and supported you.
Right.
I'm your friend.
Now here's the thing. Here's another thing. You're a comedian.
Yeah.
So I know that a lot of things you will say that maybe we would be construed as rude are a funny joke that you're trying to make me laugh.
Yes.
But if you weren't a comedian, then I would be like, damn, yeah, you're kind of an asshole.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If you pulled up in a car and you get that Range Rover you want.
Okay.
And it was a color that I didn't like.
Well, that's awful.
And you pull up, and it's some weird. Well,
let's just say matte green,
mustard. Yeah, something. So weird candy apple green.
Okay,
green. You pull up candy apple, and I literally go, "Well, that's awful." And it was your favorite new car, right? That'd be a shitty thing to do. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna lie to your face and tell you that it looks great, okay?
Yeah.
Because I care about your feelings.
But if you go to the confessions and they ask you, and you got like all these group of people, and they're probably like laughing at Jen, like it's a fun moment. They was like, "What did you think? What did y'all think?" It was one suit. That's what I'm saying. It was one.
No.
So
I get agreeing. So if someone else said it, I'd be like, "Well, it's not my favorite color."
Yeah.
But that's also your own car. If it was your kids' thing, you know what I'm saying? It's a little sensitive. I get where Jen's coming from. She's not wrong, but
you said Jen.
Well, no, what I'm saying, I guess both is I understand where they're both coming from.
So you're
but
in
at the same time, I also understand that like that was rude of Jen to do.
Rude?
Yeah, to go out of her way to talk shit on her kids' clothing line. It's like unnecessary. True, but unnecessary.
It was a joke.
I'm just saying, I understand where Meredith would be annoyed then.
Oh.
Especially if you're not like if you've had like contentious problems with that person.
So tit for tat. And I feel so mad that I'm defending Jen But again, I guess I'm looking at it from the comedic standpoint. I'm like, yo, it's just a little. It was one
Now,
sweatsuit.
if you were trying to make your friend laugh, sure, but Jen wasn't. Jen was talking shit.
I think she was.
Jen was really talking shit.
In that confessional booth, she was like, okay, that'd be dope.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when she's on the runway. She's like, it's just one.
She's like, yeah, exactly. Well, listen,
we felt it.
We're all thinking it. Like
Jen is our subconscious.
Yes.
She says the things that we think and then go, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
That'd be rude.
Yeah.
And then she says it and goes, what? It's true.
I would love to be her, one of her shoulder angels. But go ahead.
Oh my God. Yeah. If she's saying those things, what is she thinking? Okay. And then the weird thing about the whole, remember Jen threw a party for Meredith?
Yeah.
And it was like a Tongan party, which was weird. They brought up the fact that like she threw a birthday party that basically celebrated her own culture, which was kind of weird.
I agree.
But at the same time, I didn't even realize and remember that it was also Lisa's birthday day. They were one day apart.
Yeah, exactly. I found that out as well.
So that'd be super weird if me and you had a birthday of the 25th and the 26th, and then Justin, our friend Justin, threw a birthday. Well, you've always been friends with him for a super long time. But let's say that.
Let's just say a friend like that.
A friend we were equal, just threw a big birthday party for me.
Yeah.
And then just invited you to it on the same day it was your birthday. Like that would be weird, right?
I didn't know that. Yeah.
That'd be really weird. So that's another kind of, but that's Jen. She's weird.
I was just about to say that's the narcissistic behavior that everyone's trying to tell her. Like, evolve.
Right.
We are not, we all have flaws. But again, and the fact that she still was like, you should have told me. Girl. Yeah.
Right.
Tell you what, at some point you got to say, oh shit, I messed up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
no
not
accountability. Yeah, exactly.
So then we got, I think that what this reunion shows is that over time, we're talking, the show was filmed.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how many months before the reunion, but let's say like 8 months or something like that. I don't know. 6 months. So basically what you have is you have the season ending. And then you have a lot more shit that happens that's not on the season.
Exactly.
So what we clearly see is Lisa and Heather's beef has gotten way worse.
Of course.
And, a couple of the other beefs have gotten way worse. So it's really interesting. So, because we go right over to Lisa and Heather, and they're immediately just popping off on each other, like quick. And Heather's like super sensitive, and Lisa doesn't want to be known as just like the snobby cool girl or whatever. But either way, like they were fast on each other.
Listen, we did not see the, sweet Heather. Damn it, she got that Rihanna DM. And she was,
She's like, I'm kind of famous now. I can say what I'm really thinking.
Come on. And she said it. But then Lisa, I think she did a lot, and I love Lisa, but she did a lot of, if she'd have owned it more, she did a lot of backpedaling.
That was Lisa's whole problem with this whole episode. Is it?
She kept backtracking.
There was a lot of things where I kind of didn't feel like necessarily she'd needed to apologize for.
Thank you.
But there was a lot of like, the more you defend it, the more you kind of fight it, the more it looks like you're doing something wrong.
Well, I think that now she like revealed that she gets like nasty, snarky, ugly DMs.
Sure.
And you gotta understand, Lisa, I love Lisa. Those people are gonna have their own opinions on you. Even if you try to change and apologize, they're still gonna dim you in that light. That's the thing about social media. It's not real.
Right.
And the fact that they already have an opinion. You going above and beyond trying to like please people is so, you get so exhausted, but you keep apologizing. Like she was doing this episode. And I'm like, girl, listen, if it's not for you, don't do it. If you genuinely feel like you didn't do anything wrong, don't apologize. That's why we love Jen. She genuinely feels like, fuck it, So you might have shed some tears. You might do a lot, but you own it. And I think that's why she didn't. And I love Lisa. I keep saying that. Thank you for the, it's tequila. But again, right there. Put it in the camera.
Vita in the camera. Here
Appreciate
we go. Bada boom.
Exactly. Right there. You see it? Right there in mine as well. She just kept backtracking.
Yeah.
Own it, Lisa. Own it.
Just own the fact that you're a cool, successful, badass bitch.
Yeah.
The problem is that, and I was going to get into this later, but
let's get into it now.
When you are someone who accomplishes a lot, who makes a lot of money, who's a badass, who's respected around a lot of people, let's just be very true. She is better than some people.
Thank you.
If you're better than people, sometimes you are better than people. So I think deep down, Lisa's one of those like, I'm not better than you on a human level, but I'm better than you in like a business way.
In life.
I also get a lot of shit done. So I am kind of cool and don't fuck with me. And if Lisa kind of just went with that vibe, I think it would play well for her. I think at least she'd be a little bit of the heel on the show or the enemy on the show, and she'd be able to like, you know what? I know who I am. I'm okay with it. But it's because she's trying to be as nice as everybody else or whatever that it just doesn't play as well.
She's not one of them.
She's not one of them.
She's the boss of the season.
Right.
Lisa, you say Lisa
she's
Barlow.
on there telling Andy what to do.
Andy,
she's like, we're not done yet.
Thank you.
I mean,
own it to that.
Right.
She had moments where she wanted to come out. I'm like, Lisa, you are the CEO of this reunion. The hell with Andy. I know he has all the housewives, but he doesn't have this one. You have the Salt Lake City, right? So I'm like, girl, be that woman where you was like, I don't care enough to judge you.
Right.
Woo! When you said that
was wild.
I thought about that. I called my mom. I was like, girl, do you judge me? No, why you don't care enough? You know, like that kind of.
Who is this?
Exactly. I was like,
She's
okay,
like,
mom.
I had a son.
I had a son. See what I'm saying? Because my mom is a boss. So
she's like, I remember your older brother, but I don't remember you.
Don't remember
I
me.
thought we got rid of you.
Exactly.
No, okay. All right. Well,
all right.
how is everything?
I only got 3 minutes max.
Aren't you a comedian or something? Don't you talk into a microphone for a job? That's not a job. It's not the son I raised.
Well, it's a podcast, man.
Mom, sorry. I do okay, Mom.
I do okay. But I'm saying, like, own that, Lisa. Be that Lisa. But the fact that she kept backpedaling. Like, listen, I wanted Lisa to ignore everyone. They're not on her level. Right? The only person she should look to the whole time was Andy Cohen. Bosses talk to bosses. And then you look at Lisa a little bit. I mean, Mary a little bit to your left, a little bit, because she owns a church and she got her own multiple houses. We don't know how many yet. But
she doesn't.
But again, that's just the only person you look to. But again, Lisa, like I said, be that boss.
Be the boss. So speaking of denial, Jen says she didn't get a nose job. Now here's the deal.
Go ahead.
Okay, we live in Hollywood.
LA.
I mean, but I've lived in Hollywood for a while. We've been in Los Angeles for many, many, many years. We're around a lot of that stuff. And by the way, no judgment. I'm in full support. If you want to go to town as much as you want. If you want to get, your face fully reconstructed, if you want to get nothing, if you want to get the body done, whatever you want, I'm in full support. It is your body. Do what you want.
Okay.
Just don't lie and say you didn't. Because let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
We all know what a nose job looks like, and especially a nose job, let's say like in the 90s.
Okay.
The vintage nose job.
Oh.
It's like a little crooked. There's kind of like some work, and even Andy knows it. Now, he takes our expertise to the 10 because he's around the housewives. He knows plastic surgery like a T.
Yeah.
And he looks at that woman and she goes, I've never gotten plenty of plastic surgery. And he goes, not the nose? Because he's looking at it going like, I know what I see.
Exactly.
Here, okay.
Exactly.
And she's like, no, just a little Botox. And we're kind of like, okay. She's like, well, I broke my nose and I got a little fix. No, they went in and they did full reconstruction. So that's the only thing about Jen. And then I love that, he asked someone else. And what did they get done?
Oh, you talking about Whitney with her little titties?
When she's like, well, I moved them up. And it is kind of crazy. Like they are
bigger.
They are like
enormous.
They're ridiculous. They're absolutely massive.
Like, listen, that's the first thing I'm looking at when I see Whitney.
I mean, and it was her outfit was like,
she wanted to show those.
Wild.
And she told her husband before, he was like, yeah, do whatever you want.
Right. He's like, I mean, it's an investment.
It's an investment. Yeah. I
paid for these things. Like,
why not show them all?
I don't buy the Corvette. We just keep it in the garage.
Here's the thing. Jen, girl, flaunt that nose. I'm getting one. Man, when I get a lot of money and I'm done with this boxing, I'm getting it. Because they broke my shit. They broke my nose. So it's only right that I go to like.
Oh, so you're doing the Jen thing.
I'm doing the Jen thing.
You're saying, I broke my nose. So I'm dead. But you're saying, okay, so that's your excuse?
That's my excuse. Well, okay. I broke it in boxing. I broke it in boxing.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Own that shit, Jen. Again, like, own so it, what? But I expect that from Jen.
Sure.
I expect
she can't just, accept who she is.
Nah.
So now speaking of Jen, we're dealing with Jen now. She gets into her dad stuff, which is intense, but it's kind of at this point a little bit of like, I can act like a crazy person and lash out and do horrible things, and then every single time just come back to the fact that my dad passed away. And it's a little bit like, you know what? It's just a little bit like, listen, we're all going through stuff, and that's horrific that you had to go through that. But at the same time, like, You're a 50-year-old woman.
Well, again,
48.
Okay. All right. I love how you
Sorry.
did that.
I did.
Was you that? Was you that guy?
That's me. Yeah.
Was that you?
No, but what I'm saying is like the
love
older we get,
Yeah.
you know, then parents pass, and it's horrible. But at the same time, it's a little bit like that's then not the. You can't then now go, oh, by the way, I can act like a fool and be super rude to everyone and treat everyone like shit because of that. It's like you can't use that. You know what I mean? Like it's a little bit of just I get it, but then because even Mary said my dad died too.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit like, okay, yeah, people's parents pass away when you get older, and it's horrible, and we feel horrible for her. But at the same time, it's just not a license to be a bad person.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Lisa, I mean not Lisa, and Heather. What she said, her grandmother. I don't want to. Someone in Heather's family passed away as well.
Oh yeah, I didn't catch
and she
that.
started. But yeah, so RIP to Mary's late father. I mean, I send my condolences. I didn't know. A lot of people keep stuff private.
Sure.
But again, going to addressing your fact, it's not a way. The world keeps turning.
Right.
You every day you have to wake up, and again, I'd be devastated if any of my immediate family,
horrible.
anyone just
Horrible.
like pass away. But again, that doesn't grant me permission to lash out on you or on my friends.
Or occasionally.
I can't.
Sure, like
way.
if I mess up, but the whole season,
The whole
you
season.
were like,
yeah. Even
know,
on even Coach Shaw, she admitted we didn't actually openly admitted she went back to the house and like threw his stuff out. I'm like, what? It wasn't a lot. And again, how you gonna kick him out the Airbnb?
well, first of all, he barely lives there, so like I'm sure he keeps like a jacket there.
I was about to say, so I threw all this stuff. He was like, "What the hell is my jacket?"
He's like, oh, my jacket. Did I drop it on the way to the car? Huh.
All right.
He's like, I threw your things out.
He's like, "You did? What is all the rest of my rest of my stuff is at the real house?"
My stuff's in my other house, my other family. I mean, okay, so then, and that's the first time we see a little bit of Lisa drama where like Mary and Jen and Lisa, and they're kind of like, and Lisa's trying to be best friends to both. It's a little like, you know what I mean?
Again, the boss. She was not a boss. She was a worker.
Yeah.
She's trying to play both sides. And let's just get into the nitty gritty. I know you have structure and order, but this is holding. I got it.
Let's go.
Okay.
Jump the line.
Mary didn't wait, so I'm not going to wait. Jen goes, let's just get off Jen. Mary goes, like, the fact that you guys accept, always like run into her defense after she like lashes out and wiles out, but yet I get it the worst and y'all don't come to me. I felt every word that woman said. Now, she was addressing the ladies, right? Every single one of them. Who comes to her defense, like Jen's defense the first? Lisa.
Lisa's the only one.
She looks over. She's like, nah, that's so disrespectful because I'm friends to both. And then Mary just shooting. She's like, no, you're not. You're not my friend. You haven't been my friend. And then she's like, if you knew how, and she was like, no. She's like, I call you. I check. She was like, no. And then, we have Heather like pouring out her feelings on reason why Jen is so rude to her. Mm-hmm. And she's like, yo, all I want is an apology. And she's like, okay, I'm sorry. Jen goes, okay, yeah, I'm sorry for that, Lisa. I apologize. It was so bland. Mm-hmm. Andy Cohen goes, Jen, come on. Mm-hmm. Is that really sincere? Mm-hmm. She's like, no, I genuinely mean it. And then we have Heather goes like, yo, if a true friend really messes up and really genuinely cares, she will express that. Like, it'll never happen again. Mm-hmm. I apologize. I was in the wrong. I openly admit that I made a mistake. And then Mary's just like, hold on. That's what a friend do. Mm-hmm. If you can't get mad at her because you accepted that. You knew what kind of friend she was. So the fact that you're trying to get her to be something else, that's not a friend. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I was like, girl, preach. I didn't know I didn't know we had church at the reunion. I didn't know. And then Heather goes like, yo, yeah, you're right. That's true. And then Jen interrupts. She was like, maybe you should take your own advice. She looked at her like with that stale look like, I don't want to be your friend. Oh. You don't get that?
That was such a good move. That was like such a slam dunk. I mean, because Mary just laid out the truth so hard. She's like, Jen's a bad friend to you, Heather. She treats you like shit. Why do you keep coming back every single time? Why do you keep fighting for her every single time? And then you get mad when she doesn't, love you back. And then he's like, a real friend gives back. And then Jen goes, take some of your, you should take some of your own advice. And then I love the line. Mary just goes, well, I don't want to be your friend. what don't you get about that? And I'm like, that was the most just like to the jugular move ever. It was just basically saying like, yo, get it through your thick head. Mm-hmm. I don't like you. I never will like you. I don't want to be friends with you.
That was so beautiful.
And someone like Jen can't understand that.
That's chess.
She's like, well, we all got to fake like we love each other.
No.
And Mary's like, no, we don't.
No, we don't.
I'll take you out.
It's like chess. I love how she was like, yo, hold on, Heather, you can't get mad at Jen. She's showing you who you are. Mm-hmm. And then Jen goes, well, maybe you should take your own advice.
Oh, so good.
Like she's on her side.
Yeah, so good.
She's like, okay, I'm sorry. That's
no. That was such a like cold move, but like a good move. It was like real.
It's every plan and everything Mary says. Is that calculated a little bit?
I think it's. I don't know if it's calculated. Yeah, maybe. I mean, she is a Dark Lord, so I don't know. But like at the same time, I think she's just very clear. Like she's not hyper emotional, so she can kind of just clearly say things. You know, everyone else is crying and worked up, and she's always just like, She's a dagger.
Even when she said her dad passed away, she laughed about it. She smiled. She's like, my dad passed away.
Yeah, and I did that too. And I was just like, oh,
what the
shivers down my spine, dude. Like, did you kill him? Like, jeez.
Is Mary like the Terminator of the housewives?
Like, and my father was murdered. Yeah, I can handle this. Like, oh, and Jen's just like, oh, and we're like, okay,
Heather
that
crying.
is the difference there.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Okay, so then we got a little bit of another Meredith and Jen moment where, you know, the whole this is another. Okay, I feel like in the early days with Jen and Meredith, like I really agreed that Meredith was super uptight, because then we had the whole other issue of like Jen going spread eagle at the house and like showing her business, and like Brooks being annoyed and them judging her for it. And I was kind of like, yeah, that was a bad moment on Meredith and her family, in my opinion, because it was like, yo, she was being a little crazy. Yeah, sure. But at the same time, you guys were so judgmental of her. Remember that? Brooks was like super judgmental, and like she was judgmental. So it was just that was a little lame. I didn't like the fact that Jen called them all white privilege just because they didn't like that she did that. That was kind of a weird card to pull there. It was like there's a real time to use that, and it's like that was a weird time to pull it. And the whole like I busted her for smoking, that was weird. Like Jen is just manipulative, and she's kind of like a little kid that way. It's like she's kind of harmless. She doesn't really get it, but at the same time she lashes out and she does dumb shit. And so you're kind of like, Jen, you got to realize that you just keep burying yourself. Mm-hmm. That if you just chilled out a little bit, you'd be in a lot better place. But you keep burying yourself.
She's the one who has the most dirt on everyone. And it seems like with Meredith especially. And going back to the whole Vagina Gate situation, I got to take Jen's side. Again, damn, her family's uptight. She did not know they had a problem with her because they didn't say anything. They said they talked behind her back. What they both all the children went to Best Buy or wherever the hell they went. So, and then they left. Like she was like, okay, everything was fine. Now this is where Jen like uses her manipulative. I wouldn't say. Nah, she's very manipulative. I would say. What do you call, like, let's say you didn't want the world to smoke, right? You didn't want the world to know that you smoked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I didn't know you had a whole time, but when you was upstairs smoking, I didn't know. And then like, wait, what the fuck? I never smoked on the show.
Right.
And the fact only you knew that I smoked. Right. And like, why would you expose that to the world?
Right.
So
dirty.
It's very dirty.
It's a dirty move.
Yeah, it's dirty. But again, I kind of see where Jen, her point was like when you talking, you're up, like you genuinely didn't know. It's like, oh shit, I didn't know. Like, bro, only time I saw y'all was beefing is when y'all was smoking. Because then he came in, he was like, Mom, why are you smoking?
I get that. Yeah, so, I get both ends.
So it's like, but she didn't have to say it. Maybe again, she was like, maybe only time you and Brooke was fighting is when you was doing that thing that you do.
Right.
But then Andy was like, well, what was she doing? You know, she probably could have been like, oh, well, that's not my place to say. And then Meredith, like that, either way, like, you know, she's in a tough. Yeah.
I think the reality is that like Jen always just does something she regrets.
You think
and then she's always like doing some crazy shit. You know, she's always like just overacting, overreaching, going a little crazy. And then like she has to pay for it. And so it's like if she just tethered it back a little bit, she wouldn't have to deal with all these problems as much.
See, but again,
she wouldn't make too many people uncomfortable, because that's what she always does. She always goes over the top and then makes everyone feel uncomfortable, whether it be she lashes out, whether it be she's doing spread eagle at the house, like whatever. She's fun, but at the same time, like, know that you're Meredith's house. Meredith's not that kind of person. You know what I mean? Like there's certain people you cut loose with and certain people you don't. Meredith, you don't.
Yeah, well, again, maybe she was in the time. Like, I hate taking up for Jen. Oh my God. Maybe this is like the time where we only saw, the only person that saw Meredith, like in that world of her seeing other people was who? Jen. So maybe she thought like, yo, this is her wild stage. You know, you just came off a date, seeing other people. We wilding out.
That's
and
true.
You didn't even tell your kids. So they don't know the real Meredith. She knows the real Meredith. So she was like, oh shit, I didn't know you didn't tell your kids this. So let's turn up, girl. So again, I can't fault Jen, but I get what you're saying. Like I'm in the middle. Like, you know, it's Meredith's fault, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it was super lame how judgmental they were. That's why I felt like that was lame. It was like, you guys are way too judgmental of Jen. Like, you're too like, you know, it's like, oh, it's okay if someone spreads their legs and is kind of crazy, whatever. Yeah. But you need to chill out on the whole like judgment. And also, it's okay to tell your kids that they're being idiots.
Straight up.
Like Meredith, it's okay to be like, Brooks, stop being judgmental. Chill.
Yeah.
Jen's a little crazy, whatever.
But again,
she does this whole like, it's okay, I know she's crazy, but we got to put. It's just like,
we're not friends.
Well, I'm Brooks, your parent. Why do you even have an opinion on this? Like, go hang again. Go find a friend. Why are you here? You're on the date night. You're with the girls. You're hanging out on the friend night. Like, you're always there.
You're always around.
Why don't you have friends? Go do something.
Yeah,
driving me nuts.
I know. Again, also going back to Jen's white privilege statement. I mean, again, uncalled for.
Took it way gnarlier than it was.
Maybe she was just like, it was a time where, again, it was filmed when the world was closed. Maybe she was like, and this is white privilege.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
she was feeling attacked. Maybe. Yeah. Okay, I get it.
But then I get what you're saying though, Jen, dial it back. But again, you telling someone who haven't dialed it back their whole lives.
It's like a thoroughbred horse. It's like, don't run fast. I mean, she's gonna run.
Yeah, I was about to say.
You can't. She ain't trotting.
Go ahead. She ain't trotting.
Then we got Lisa versus Whitney and Heather.
This is my favorite.
We kind of already talked a little bit about the whole I don't care enough to judge you.
Yep.
But we saw a side of Lisa in this we haven't seen yet. Lisa cried.
Yeah. Well, she didn't cry. She forced herself trying to cry.
Okay, so you don't think Lisa cried? You don't think those were real tears?
No, I know when it's cry. I can cry like that. We've seen it before. You've seen it how it happened. I know.
So you think that was acting? Okay, here it comes. Are you gonna bring the tears?
Do you want me to? I'll bring it. I mean, it's like it's nothing to bring. But again,
are you thinking about your imaginary kids?
Well, it's hard to cry. But again, if I had kids and
sure,
listen, this is her first time ever mentioning her kid.
Because everyone else is crying all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Meredith gets a little emotional, but she just gets. But especially the other women, they're always crying, or at least getting to the point of tears. Lisa, we haven't even seen a crack out of.
The boss doesn't cry.
That's true. You can't cry. Shows weakness.
Exactly. So the fact that she tried, she didn't even cry. Her eyes got watery for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then she like touches her face, and then she's like, "Oh shit, I'm on live TV. I can't do it. So let me just like." Okay, and then Annie asks her a question, and then it's like whatever.
So, what do you think about the beef? Then let's get back to this because what do you think about the beef? Because what we consistently see is that Heather is offended by Lisa not being cool with her or like not acting like she's friends. You crying right now?
I'm crying right now.
Damn it, bro!
I'm crying right now.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty. I mean, we got tears right now. We got tears rolling down. Wow, if you're on the video, you're seeing legit tears right now. Wow.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
Yeah, it's easy. Yeah, easy to cry.
Did you think about something?
Nah.
Or did you just?
Oh yeah, you gotta go. You gotta take yourself into like.
So you thought about something sad?
It was something sad.
And can you just talk about what it was?
What was? When my cousin passed away.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Okay. So
you went to like a moment in time where you were really sad.
Yes, and then boom, there it is.
Wow.
They teach you that. Yeah.
Okay, so
you want me to stop? I can stop.
I mean, you could dry it up.
Okay, yeah. No, I can't dry it up.
Your skin can take the water.
It goes back. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So, house kittens. Yeah. Thank you.
That's an Oscar-worthy performance. We
Andy
Cohen. Full tears. If you need a real house husband, we got one here for you.
Appreciate that.
You can cry on cue.
Yeah.
It's basically the emotional porno. He can. it's the emotional money shot, as we call it in the business.
Okay, there it is. We'll go back to your point.
Wow, that was intense. Okay, so now we got. So Lisa's always cool girl, and Heather's always sad girl about the fact that it's like Heather's not feeling like she's loved enough, and Lisa's like, "What are you even talking about?" Mm-hmm. I understand that dynamic. I understand both sides a little bit because you're like, hey, someone feels like they know you and they're your friends, and the other person's like, well, we're not really friends. I kind of barely know you. Why would I act? But I get it. Also, Heather's super insecure around people that act cool. She's definitely struggles with that. What do you think about the whole dynamic that happened between Whitney and Lisa with the whole bartender thing? Like, what if I hired a bartender for you, and then I brought him and he got fucking wasted and like broke stuff and like ruined the floor and like fought someone at your party?
It's not my company. I use him, but
no. I'm saying if I hired them
for
your party,
for my
like
party
as a gift. I said, my bartender Jay, who's a friend of mine, or not a friend of mine, but works for I'll give you some of my tequila. And that bartender like did all this stuff. What would you feel about it? What would you say / feel?
All right, again,
because this is a good question because I see like, wow, that is kind of a hard thing where you go, just as a heads up. Actually, go ahead. You tell me, and then I'll tell you my opinion.
Okay. So you want me to be Whitney in this situation, basically? Okay, cool. So
what would you? I want you to be Whitney.
Okay. Well, let me get it off my chest. No pun intended. I think that she had every right to confront Lisa about the situation. Like, hey, but again, why did you bring it up? If I just want to let you know. Like, you know what I mean? Hey, these guys that you brought over to the house, they fucked my house up, basically. And I think that how did you expect Lisa to receive that message? Like, okay, bitch, wait, I'm trying to. What do you mean? I paid $3,000 to them. She's like, I can pay my own money. Well, you didn't. I did. So the fact that you're bringing this up at a party, like you could have called me, you could have texted me. You could you face to face. We had a party where they have hors d'oeuvres. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I think that Lisa, again, she had every point. Her execution, her delivery, I didn't like it. Again, what do you think?
I think in this case, I think Whitney's in the wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
Here's why. Is she right? 100%. Would I be pissed if you hired some bartenders and they fucked up my house and they did some stupid shit like that? Yes. But at the same time, there's a little bit of like, what can you do about it? So now you just look rude by like complaining about it. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit like, Whitney, I know what you're saying. I know everything you feel I agree with. But at the same time, it's a little bit like, do you really care that Lisa has those bartenders, that they're of a relationship? No, you don't. No. You just kind of wanted Lisa to know that like,
you're not perfect.
You're not perfect. And so I get both sides there that like, obviously. So I think if Lisa and Whitney were super close friends, you can bring it up. Mm-hmm. You can be like, hey, by the way, just as a quick note, like, thanks so much for doing that. But just as a heads up, that one bartender like has an alcohol problem, and he was like messing all the shit up. Like, oh, cool.
She didn't present it. Yeah.
But it was kind of like, oh, by the way, it was a little conniving. So that was Whitney. You were a little off on that one. I don't think it was necessary.
Talking about
maybe
manipulation.
Maybe you were drinking at the party and you kind of did a Jen thing, which is like when you stirred all that shit up at Jen's party.
Thank you.
Seems like you kind of have a tendency to do that a little bit.
The last thing a girl want to do when she gets off the pole is clean up mess that she didn't create.
That's what I'm saying.
That's it.
Oh, wait, you're in favor of Whitney, you're saying?
Yeah, in favor of Whitney. No. Oh, yeah. Well, Lisa, let me say that. When Whitney got off that pole, the only mess she wanted to make was on that pole.
Oh, gotcha.
But when she got off there.
It sounds so gross.
Yeah, it did.
I don't even know what it means, but it's gross.
It's gross, right? But then she got off and saw another mess that wasn't made by her. Mm-hmm. She's upset.
Okay, I get it. So let's see. Okay, yeah. I mean, and like we kind of were saying earlier, I think at the end of the day, Lisa is a badass businesswoman who is cooler than a lot of people.
Yeah, own it.
But she wants to be the nice, sweet lady. And it's like, nah, it's not you.
It's not
You're
her.
The kind of badass, cool girl. Run with it.
Yeah.
And don't try to be a Heather or be a Whitney or whatever. You're just kind of sweet and nice and normal.
Look at Mary. Know what I mean? Look at Mary. Bosses they do not care about any other person.
The evil boss does not meddle with the civilians.
Why? Listen, Mary in her own right, if she had like several churches, she'll be killing. She'll have a bigger attitude and more confidence And I don't want to see that because that's God level. No, the pun intended again.
Right.
So I think that Lisa, you can't play. It's like if you're a worker, right? You hire people to cut those, blowing their horns, cut the grass and stuff like that. It's like, hey man, tell me about yourself. You don't care about yourself. Like do your job.
Right.
I'm filming a podcast.
Right.
Don't blow. Just try to, if you can't do that, take out some scissors and go cut my grass with that. I'm doing so. You're working. I don't have time to like accommodate and try to like, let me try to devalue myself and try to get to know these. No, Lisa, you a goddamn boss. The CEO do not eat with the employees.
Right.
They stay in their office. You know when a CEO lunch break is? It's all day. Your employees, they got an hour to 30 minutes. Come on, man. Don't try to.
At 12:30, you take lunch.
Take lunch.
CEO goes, I do whatever I want. I'm golfing. Don't call me.
Don't call me.
I'm on the 16th tee.
Call a CFO.
Drunk.
That's what I'm. Ooh, shit. Drunk?
Sorry. You're drunk playing golf. You're not paying attention.
You went somewhere.
Well, I mean.
Again, yeah. Shout out to
Vita.
The kid, Vita.
One little side thing. Remember when Whitney was trying to prove that her and Lisa's text messages were messed up, and then she brought out the pages?
I love when women bring out those receipts.
The receipts. But they were so bad, Andy couldn't even read them. You fumbled it at the 1 yard line. You brought the receipts out. Here was the way to finally end Lisa. Now, what I think happened?
What do you think?
I think Lisa sabotaged those sheets. I think Lisa saw them on the counter when Whitney was getting her hair done, spilled a little water on them. Watch the ink bleed. Can't read them anymore. You know what I'm saying?
And Whitney didn't have any knowledge.
Nothing. Well, because we were about to get receipts. All of a sudden, she had all the sheets. She goes, here you go. And he goes, all right. And goes, wait, I can't even read this. They skip over it.
And Whitney
and Lisa's just sitting there just, interesting.
Again, that's a boss move.
She poured a little bit of this. Yep. She was walking around selling it, and all of a sudden she goes, wait.
Hey, you want a shot before the show?
Oops, I'm sorry, I spilled all over that paper.
No, she didn't. No. She's like, yo, cheers. And they cheersed, and when they touched glass, she had the real bottle spilled on the page.
Like an
behind
assassin.
the back. Yeah, behind the back. She's like, oh my God, girl, it goes down so smooth. Deep little conversation. Are you nervous? Because I'm nervous. Yeah, I'm nervous.
I miss you.
Sorry
oh my God. Stuff we have.
Listen. We're going to turn up. It's going to be great. This is our first one. Many more. Let's turn up. Here, take another shot. And oh, no, I don't want to. Girl, take another shot. Your titties look good. Okay, girl, you're right. Take one. The damage is already done.
Damage is done.
She poured it.
She didn't even notice how bad they were. She brought them out.
She poured 3 shots. 2 to Whitney. 1 to the loose leaf paper. Think about that. And that's why tequila.
I mean, that was an assassin. That was an assassin.
That's a boss move. Yeah.
So then we got a little bit of Lisa versus Mary problems here.
Yeah.
And this is where they're going back and forth and kind of talking about stuff. But Lisa then takes a shot at Mary and says that, like, because Mary's kind of saying, like, oh, yeah, you act better than everybody else. You even act better than me. And Lisa goes, no, you act better than people. And Mary goes, what are you talking about? She goes, people at your church. And that was the first time in a long time where, like, Mary took a big blow.
Yeah.
Because Lisa was right in this.
She was.
Lisa goes, you treat people like your church like shit. And we've been saying that since day one, watching these episodes of her in the church. She's calling people in her church fat and ugly and lazy and bad at singing and slow. I mean, she is so ruthless to those people. And that was the first time someone really nailed it on, like, a good right hook. Because it was like, whoa. Like, you could tell it was like, oh shit. Like, she had nothing to say to that. She's like, well, because she goes, don't ever bring up my church or I'll bring up your tequila. And it was like, that's not a good diss. Like, you got hit. You got hit hard.
Yeah, a lot.
And
like,
you were not ready for that.
She wasn't ready for that boss move. That's another boss punch.
And I know it seems like we're a little bit on Lisa's side because we do have beef with her. I do have beef with her a little bit on this where I go, you were trying to play both sides. You were trying to be the nice girl. You're trying to do all this stuff. You were trying to be friends with Mary and be friends with Jen. Like, you were trying to do all that stuff and it bit you because then everyone started to turn on you. Mm-hmm. But there was multiple moves where she made where it was like, that's right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Check. Yeah. I like that. But you skipped over the fact that she was like, name someone who I make feel like lesser than it as a person.
Yeah.
She goes, Jen. Who else?
Yeah, right.
She didn't even acknowledge.
She's like, well, this is a person.
Yeah, exactly. She was
we're
like,
talking about a real person. A person with an actual soul, not a person that I consider to not be a human. That was great.
that was so great, yo.
She's like, well, obviously that thing over there, but like, I'm not talking about animals. That was great.
That was the best. Like, because it was digs in between digs. I love these women. Yeah.
So to wrap this up, I want to talk about who's friends anymore. Because if you look at the whole panel, it's like we started off the season, Mary versus Jen.
Yeah.
Everyone else is kind of friends.
Episode 1.
Episode 1 was Mary versus Jen. That was kind of the main problem. Everybody else is kind of friends. There was a little tension between Lisa and Heather, right? But everyone was fine. They would hang out and get along. By the end of the season, we got tension between quite a few of the ladies. But whatever was kind of brewing is big now at the reunion. Because who's friends? I mean, let's look at Mary. Friends with no one, right? Enemy to all, basically.
Even Heather.
Even Heather. So enemy to all. Let's look at Jen. Enemy to all.
Maybe
like
Lisa.
Literally Lisa, kind of,
Maybe.
but like more just Lisa trying to be friendly because maybe she's hiding something. It seems weird.
Correct.
Because why also Lisa would you make you possibly lose all the other relationships? It's a little weird. So Jen maybe has a friend in Lisa, but she doesn't care about it. You could tell. Then you go over to Lisa, and you're like, who she's friends with? You're like, maybe a little bit of Jen. And then right at the episode, it looks like her and Meredith aren't friends either anymore. So no, they're not friends with anybody. Now let's go over to Heather. Now Heather seems to be cool with at least Whitney.
They're cousins, right?
Are they? Oh yeah, some sort of. But they seem to still be friends. Heather and Meredith are just kind of like acquaintances. Yeah. They're like not friends.
If I see you on the street, yeah.
And then she's not friends with Jen anymore. She's not friends with Lisa, of course, and then she's not friends with. And Mary and her
just like
they don't even care.
Yeah.
So she's friends with one person. Then you go over to Whitney. Now Whitney's cool with Meredith.
Yeah.
Whitney's cool with Jen. Oh, sorry. Whitney's cool with Heather.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And a little bit of Mary. Okay, so I would say
not really because
not really, but not a lot, but not because they would talk and stuff like that. So it seems like Whitney's the one that has at least like 3 friends. You know what I mean? And then Meredith seems to just be friends now with Whitney. That's kind of it. So it's like, it is crazy how when you actually look at the show, like no one's friends with anyone anymore, really. Whitney and Heather are really the only friends. Other than that, no one's friends with anybody.
Yeah.
It's kind of like everyone's on their own. Like just how they set up the chairs, there's like, you're just kind of alone on the show. There's no more alliances. There's no more us 3 versus those 3, those 2 and these 5, nothing. They're all kind of islands now. And there's going to be a season 2. So I'm really interested to see
we still have
what that means. We have 2 more reunions, I know, but I'm just saying, I don't think it's going to get better. Like, I don't think people are going to get closer. Here's another thing.
Yeah.
Side note. I saw Meredith's Instagram.
Okay.
On Meredith's Instagram, she posted pictures of her at the reunion. And I thought this was really interesting. The first picture is just her.
Okay.
The second picture is her with Whitney and Heather. And the third picture is her with Mary.
Nothing with Lisa.
Nothing with Lisa. Nothing with Jen. Obviously Jen, but nothing with Lisa. So obviously she's not best friends with Mary or Heather or Whitney, but at the same time, there is no Lisa there.
Okay.
So that's a direct. But then underneath, there's a comment by Lisa saying gorgeous. So we got to figure out what's going on.
Well, maybe it's something for the show. It's quite weird. In the fan acts, I didn't know how Whitney and Meredith. I didn't know they were that close into the fan acts. Like, yo, Whitney, who would you sleep around with on the show? She was like, Meredith. I was like, ugh, that boring. She looks boring in bed.
But I don't think that was because that's her favorite. I think it's like her only option. Like she hates Lisa.
Yeah.
She doesn't really like Mary, and she hates Jen. So what are my other options?
You're right, and I thought about it. I was like, well, Heather,
Heather doesn't have a man, so
well, Heather is the obvious freak in the bed. You can just tell because she's just throwing it. She's willing to try and do anything.
I don't know, but Meredith might be a sleeper. Meredith is kind of one of those like quiet ones, but might be all that rage.
Nah, man, I don't think so.
All that rage.
I don't think so. Just moaning. I can just tell like Heather is the one to be with. Now it is kind of weird that this dynamic is just like completely shattered.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the friendships, all the duos, they're done.
They're done.
So it's just and again, I don't like to see black women or women of color go at it during Black History Month. But again, it's Jen we're talking about, and I think that she is just a loose cannon. I can't see anyone like joining Jen's side besides Lisa. But again, that rumor is going to get out.
Right.
Stop. If you're going to die on that hill,
right.
All power to you. And I think Mary can. Last time we really saw Mary with the girls was her gala. Mm-hmm. And then her and Whitney had that little situation, but then we see them on FaceTime, later on when things happen in Vegas. So they're kind of like, so Mary can kind of get like Whitney and Heather. She doesn't care for Meredith or Lisa. I think that the only duos I can see is Whitney and Heather, and I can see Mary doesn't care. She you can just tell she's all for self. She's been about self. I'm all for self from day one. Mm-hmm. Meredith, that's the interesting like part here because she doesn't like drama. Mm-hmm. Every time drama comes her way, she's like, I'm getting out of here.
Right.
There's no place to run.
She doesn't like it.
There's no place to run now. So the fact I want to see why her and Lisa, they're not vibing right now. Right. Now again, I seen these reunions. We've been there before. This is not our first rodeo. Mm-hmm. We've been in our seats in the comfort of our own home on a Thursday or a Wednesday night. So we're not new to this. Mm-hmm. We know like as when women talk it out, they just need to hear it. They need that confrontation. Once they hear it, then I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Text, and then they become friends again by season 2. So yeah.
Well, I'm really looking forward. I like the fact that we have multiple reunions.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they're going to draw this thing out and we're going to see all the elements.
Everything.
I think there's 3.
It's 3. Well, now that's what I'm kind of weirded out upon because, 3 is too much.
That's a lot.
2 is great, but 3 is it a lot? I mean.
This next one better be fire. If not.
And Rihanna better come out.
Yeah, we need a performance.
Yeah, I was just about to say 3 for the first season.
That's like they're stretching something.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like they were like,
come on,
something happened during production. Like, how do we squeeze this? And Jason Derulo, and we're like, this guy's everywhere. What?
Do a TikTok dance?
Seriously. Okay, so we'll see you next week. Yeah. Another reunion. Looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. Love you. Bye.